Hello. Hi. My name's Emily. I'm an avid reader. Starting my YouTube channel. A lot of the times when I'm watching an ASMR video, the ASMR artist will say something to the effect of like, "Oh, I'm so sorry if you can hear the cars or the AC or the fan or people in the hallway or whatever it is," and I'm always like, I can't hear it. I'm not that annoyed. And now that I'm trying to film an ASMR video, I'm like, oh my god, I live on a highway. Okay. So, I thought, I'm hyper aware of everything now. I thought that since it is the new year and I am an avid reader, that I would show you some of the books that I'm hopefully going to read this year. So I have 7 books here that I'm going to read. I'm absolutely going to read these books. These books have been on my TBR. Some of them have been on my TBR for years. Okay. But I genuinely believe that even if I read books very, very late, I read them right on time with when I need to. You know? Like, right when the story would be the most impactful. So, like, last year, for example, my mental health was falling apart. Like, genuinely, my mental health was falling apart. And I wanted to read something that was, like, fun and lighthearted and didn't matter much. And I came out having read a book that was fun and lighthearted and, like, not too deep. And I came out of it being like, I feel a little bit more hopeful about humanity. Like, was it the best book in the entire world? No. Did it make me really happy? Yeah. So, I think everybody just finds books right when they need to. Right on time. But I do like intentional reading. And I do like, I like hearing different perspectives and learning different people's stories, because that's what's great about reading. Learning different perspectives, hearing other people's stories, becoming a more empathetic person, having your eyes opened up to situations that you've never been in and may never be in, but maybe it makes you care more, maybe it makes you more involved, maybe it makes you want to change things, and I think that that's really important. And sometimes it's just good to turn your brain off a little bit. Sometimes. First book, some of these books are kind of heavy, like, topics. I'm gonna start off with the one that I actually don't really know what it's about. Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. This book became really popular, or like had a resurgence in popularity, because a movie came out, I want to say in 2021, maybe 2022, and 2022, and Daisy Edgar Jones, I know who that is. I've had this book for such a long time, like probably since 2022 then, and I never read it. I don't actually know what this book is about. I know that it is a film. I know that it is one of Reese Witherspoon's book club picks. I know that Taylor Swift did a song for it. I think this was also an Oprah book club pick, but if I was the publisher, or even if I was just the author, I would be like, if this was an Oprah book club pick, you would see that. You would see Oprah before you saw anything else on this cover. So I could be wrong that it was an Oprah book club pick, but I feel like it was. But I don't know what this book is about, and I kind of want to go into it knowing nothing. but I really want to read this year. That's Where the Crawdads Sing. No, I'm definitely gonna read it. There's no guarantee that I'm gonna watch the film. I read Turtles All the Way Down last year, still haven't watched the film. Loved the book, adored that book. Have not watched the film. I take a very long time to get to things. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. So Turtles All the Way Down. Where the Crawdads Sing is the first book that I want to read. I'm sorry about the glare. The next book I really want to read. Okay. It's very important to me. Deaf Utopia by Niall DeMarco. If you don't know who Niall DeMarco is, he is a deaf activist, actor, model. He's a producer. He has a short documentary series called Deaf U about Gallaudet University, and he has another documentary. I think it's called Deaf President Now, but it was like Emmy nominated. Yeah, I haven't yet watched that, but that's one of his works. But he's a model. He won America's Next Top Model, I believe. He won Dancing with the Stars, or I think he won Dancing with the Stars. Did he win Dancing with the Stars? Yeah, he won America's Next Top Model and Dancing with the Stars. Yeah. But I love Niall DeMarco very, very much. He is a deaf activist. He's a queer rights activist. He's incredible. He's wonderful. And the way that this book is written, because he's deaf, his whole family's deaf, his twin brother's deaf, his grandparents on both sides are deaf, like everybody in his family's deaf, which is unusual. Most deaf kids are born to hearing parents. I think it's like 90% of deaf kids are born to hearing parents. But the way that he writes some of the stories, if you don't know, American Sign Language isn't just like English on the hands. It's its own language with its own syntax and grammatical rules and sentence structure, and it's like fully its own language. It was recognized as its own language in 1986. But like there are certain things when he's having conversations with people in the book, he'll write it out the way that I would read it in like an ASL text book. So Y, and it's in all caps, WHY, Y. It's in all caps because that's how ASL is supposed to be when you write it out. And then grow up is one sign. So it's in all caps, grow dash up, and then comma, limited, because that's one sign. And then access to, you would just sign the word access, but that means access to, so access dash to. It looks like that, if you can see that. So he wrote things that are very much like deaf. They're very much ASL, and I'm really excited to read it. I clearly care about this a lot. I'm hard of hearing, and I know ASL. That's part of the connection of me caring about this, if I didn't explain that. I'm very excited to read it. I've been reading more memoirs lately, and I'm excited about that. I've been talking a lot, and I'm only on book 2. Sorry. Next book I'm really excited to read. It's a book I've had on my shelf for a very long time. It's The Book Thief. I, for whatever reason, when I was younger, was under the impression that this book came out in like the 80s or something. It did not. This book came out in 2006, right? No, I know it takes place in 1939, but this book came out in like 2006 or something. And it came out in 2006 because my way of knowing this is it's as old as the Black Parade album by My Chemical Romance. I love MCR. But I was like fully under the impression that this was a much older text because it's such a revered, as far as I'm concerned, it's such a revered classic at this point, and such an important book. I know it is narrated by Death. I know it takes place in 1939 Nazi Germany, and I know that I really want to read it. I also think it's really interesting to have a story narrated by Death. Like, I just think that that is very interesting. And the title is very captivating, and this is a lot of people's favorite book. I also heard a lot of people say that this is the book that's like, if anything's gonna make you cry, it's gonna be this. And I'm a little worried about that, but I'm excited to read it. I've had it on my shelf for years. So I'm gonna read it. This is gonna be the year that I'm gonna read it. It's absurd that I haven't read this yet. So yeah, this is the highest praise. Deserves a place on the same shelf with The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. And brilliantly and hugely ambitious, it's the kind of book that can be life-changing. I want this book to change my life. I'm gonna read this book. It's gonna happen. I got this. Another book that I hope is very life-changing to me, Guards by Terry Pratchett. Speaking of books narrated by Death, I read Mort by Terry Pratchett last year, I think, and I liked it, but I feel like there's a learning curve with reading Terry Pratchett's books. It's not that I was like too stupid to understand what was going on or anything, because the language and the story was quite not simple as in elementary, but like easy to understand. It's just very wacky. Like, you need to get used to how bizarre some of the situations are. And Discworld has tons of the books are very episodic, but there are certain like sub series in Discworld. So there's the Witches books, which are, as it's been recommended to me, clever retellings of classics like Phantom of the Opera and Macbeth and blah 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 blah. There's the Death books, which are as high concept as it gets, and I think that that's part of what was throwing me off. And then there's the City Watch books, which are like fantasy. I've been told that they're like fantasy crime novels, and also I've been told if you like Brooklyn Nine-Nine that you're gonna like these. I've never watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but Terry Pratchett is an author with like the highest recommendations ever. Everybody loves Terry Pratchett. Everybody who's ever read a Terry Pratchett book is like, no, he's one of my favorite authors. And I'm very excited to read this. I'm pretty sure that in this book that there's like a dragon on the loose or something. And I'm excited to read it, and I'm excited to read about Corporal Carrot and Captain Sam Vimes, because the only thing that I know about Captain Sam Vimes is on Tumblr. I saw a reposting of Captain Sam Vimes's boots theory, that if you have like a rich man saves money in the long run because he can buy the good quality boots once for his entire lifetime because he has $500 or whatever it is, but a poor man needs to buy the $30 boots or whatever it is, but he needs to buy them once every season, and so over time he ends up spending more money than the rich man, and that's how the poor man stays poor. And I was like, I want to read from the author who said that, because he's right. So I really want to read this, and I will report back on how much I love this. I have a feeling I'm gonna love it a lot. This is highly recommended. Another highly recommended book that I've wanted to read for a really long time is My Dark Vanessa. Trigger warning, this book, I'm not going to talk about it too much in detail, but trigger warning if you are going to read the book. It takes place in two dual timelines. One when Vanessa is 15 and one when she's like 32, something like that. And she, when she was 15, was in a romantic relationship with her English teacher, who was 42. So there's, and as from what I know, it's not glamorizing the relationship and what happened. I've been told that this book handles this situation with a lot of empathy and a lot of like no romanticism of it. I've yet to read it, so I don't know if that's true. But if those topics cause any discomfort, please do not read this. Or look further into it before you decide if you're going to read this. But I'm not going to, I'm going to read this. I hope it's really good, as everyone has said. Yeah, and I really want to read it. And then, next book that I'm going to read, I'm going to get to this book. I've had this book on my shelf for over a year. And it's Octavia freaking Edith Butler. Like, I need to get it together. It's Parable of the Sower. This book is, to so many people, it's the cream of the crop of dystopian. It takes place in the year 2025. I am extraordinarily late to reading this, as this book came out in 1980 something. I'm so sorry. It came out in 1980 something. But I've been told that this is like one of the most incredible books. It's one of the most incredible dystopians. I often have not necessarily an issue with, no, I sometimes have an issue with dystopian books. I have an issue with the way that we as a society consume dystopian stories, and as though it is purely entertainment without thinking about how it correlates to real life, and not keeping our critical thinking caps on. I also have an issue with the big, like, boom of, like, the early 2000s and the 2010s of, mostly the 2010s, and from when I was reading it, of dystopian books that weren't really talking about anything and weren't really criticizing anything. It was just like, here's a random girl and she's going to save this broken society that is broken by what? We don't know. And there was no, like, real criticism of anything, and it felt like a knockoff of the Hunger Games. That's obviously not this. This came far before the Hunger Games. That's just why I don't really read a lot of dystopian. That was a side tangent. But yeah, I really want to read this book. It is highly recommended by not only, like, people that I trust their reading recommendations, it's recommended by authors that I love. And, like, this is the other thing too. There's am I right? Yes. There's a foreword by LeVar Burton, who, if you don't know who LeVar Burton is, he did The Reading Rainbow. It's very important. That's just really exciting. So, like, these are the kind of things that I love seeing surrounding books that, like, really make me want to read a book, as if I'm like, oh, I know and admire that person, and they're saying that I should read this book. Okay, I'll pick it up. I'm very excited to read this book. I know that there's 2 books in the series. I believe that she had initially wanted to write a 3rd book and that just never happened. But I'm excited to read this book. I think I'm gonna love it. Last book. If I don't love this book, I'm gonna cry. So this is Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. I read Chain of Gold and Chain of Iron last year. even though those books came out so long ago. I had these books, I had these books on, like, marked on my calendar for the year that Chain of Gold came out. I brought it to college with me because it was 2020. It was my freshman year of college. I brought it to college with me. Did I read it? No. Did I end up in a depression? Yes. Did I ever pick it up? No. And then I didn't pick it up until literally last year. And I read both of them and I freaked out while reading Chain of Gold. It was so exciting. Because one of the reasons why I freaked out, I have a tattoo that is from a Cassandra Clare book, and it means a lot to me for a lot of different reasons. But the quote is from an inscription that's on a sword in the books, and I actually caught a video of me seeing that quote show up in Chain of Gold and me just going, that's my tattoo. And I was so excited. I like almost cried. I was so excited because that's my tattoo. But yeah, what was I saying? Right, okay. So I read those two books. I loved them, but I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about this. There's already concern because I'm pretty sure that this is Grace on the cover. This has to be Grace. This is Grace on the cover. I don't really love Grace. Grace is stressing me out. I want to love Grace. All she does is stress me out. I don't think I'm ever gonna like her. Really want this book to prove me wrong. Don't know if it will. The last couple of pages of Chain of Iron had me like, I've never been so angry to see one of my favorite characters, like all-time favorite characters, like favorite characters since I was 13. Spoiler alert. 3, 2, 1. Spoiler alert. William Herondale shows up, as he often does in these books. And I swear, for the one situation that he showed up in at the end of Chain of Iron, I was so mad. I've never been that pissed off. I didn't think that Cassandra Clare could make me angry at the concept of seeing William Herondale, but I was furious. I think, okay, spoilers over. I think I hit like physically hit, like, I don't want to see anything, but like book open, like hit the book like this so many times. I cried multiple times. I was just like pacing around reading and yelling. I read, the books are split up. That book at least was split up, like this is part 1 and this is part 2. I read all of part 2 in the same night. I cannot explain to you the level of yelling that occurred. It was so much. And I loved the first 2 books. So I'm concerned because so many people have been like, and then the third book happened. And the third book is not as good as the first 2 books. And the third book ruined character arcs. And the third book did blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I will decide this for myself. But as I'm deciding, I'm going to be incredibly nervous going into this book. Like, please don't hurt my feelings. And please don't hurt Jesse's feelings. Or Lucy. Or Cordelia. Don't hurt any of their feelings. And Matthew. Oh my god, Matthew. Like, don't hurt my feelings. Don't hurt my feelings. Don't hurt my feelings. This book's gonna take me out. Yeah, I'm really excited to read it. I'm so excited to read that book. I don't know how relaxing this video is, but I hope that someone enjoyed watching me talk about the books that I'm excited to read. And if you like, you can tell me some books that you're excited to read. If you've read any of these books and you're like also super excited about these books, or you're like, this is the one you should read first, let me know. I have a TBR pile that is, like, I have a list. This is my physical TBR pile, but I have a TBR list that is like 200 books long. I can always keep adding to it, so if you have any recommendations, let me know. And if you can hear everything that's going on in the background, I'm very sorry. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good night, or a good evening, or a good morning, or a good afternoon, or wherever you're at.